Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, we are going to continue the journey of our study of Sri Brahma Samhita. So, I'll begin with offering the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishnapreshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami iti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Paramanandam Madhavam. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So let me share my screen. So we are reading from Brahma Samhita and we have started discussing the prayers that Brahmaji offered, starting with Chintamani Prakara Sadmasu Kalpa Vriksha. And so in the beginning, Brahmaji describes the abode of Krishna, that is Goloka Vrindavan, starting with this verse, Chintamani. And then he describes his form, and then he starts describing about his powers or glories in there. And last week we read about how Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Vrittimanti. So how Krishna's all the limbs can perform activities of all his senses, and how he is maintaining all the spiritual as well as the material planets, and his form is Ananda Chinmaya Sad Ujvala Vigrahasya. So his Vigraha is again full of bliss, is full of knowledge and eternal, and also very effulgent. To him, he is offering the prayers. So today we are going to continue the next verse, which again glorifies his powers and how he is infallible, and there are so many different inconceivable qualities we'll read in today's verse. So we said the verse. advaitam acyutam anādim ananta-rūpam ādyam purāṇa-puruṣaṁ nava-yauvanaṁ cha vedeṣu durlabham adurlabham ātma-bhaktau govindam ādi-puruṣaṁ tam ahaṁ bhajāmi. So now in this beautiful verse, there are so many different qualities or adjectives are used for Krishna here. So first of all, advaitam. So he's advaita. So advaita means, Prabhupada uses many times a word one without a second. So he's unique, he's singular. So God is one. There cannot be multiple gods. So he's the supreme personality of Godhead. That's how Prabhupada translates the word Bhagavan. So he's one without a second. And Srila Jiva Goswami in his commentary mentions that the word Advaitam means the supreme Godhead who has no rival. There is no competition to him. As in Shvetashvatar Upanishad, it is mentioned that Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate, natat samaschabhyati kascha drishyate. That the Supreme Lord has no work to do. Everything is done for him just by his willingness or just by his thinking. And everything, the whole creation, there are multiple energies, parasya shaktir vividhaiva shuvate, working for his service. So So he doesn't have any work to do. And na tat samascha abhyadikascha drishyate. There is nobody who is equal to him, and nobody can ever be greater than him. So this is advaitam. His advaitam is there. He is non-dual. He is singular. Or also Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, 7th verse, that matta parataram na anyat kinchid asti dhananjaya. That there is no superior truth than me, O Dhananjay. So that's how Brahmaji glorifies him with advaitam. Then he's saying him as acyutam. Acyutam is something, one who is not falls down. He is not, or here it is translated as without decay, or somebody who never falls down in the material creation, or one who never forgets. As in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna first time refers to Krishna, so he calls him Achyuta. Senayor ubayor madhye ratham sthapaya me Achyuta. So he asks, Arjuna requests Krishna that please take my chariot in the middle of the two armies. And that's when he refers to him as Achyuta. So even though Krishna takes a lower position of a chariot driver of Arjuna, but still he is always the supreme in all the circumstances. He never falls down from his position. He is always the supreme personality of Godhead. And Achyutam also, in the 4th chapter, Prabhupada mentions in one of the purports that Achyutam also means Krishna never forgets. When he mentions to Arjuna that imam vivasvate yogam proktavam ahaṁ avyayam, that this transcendental science of yoga I had explained to, or I had told to sun god Vivaswan. So then Arjuna asks a very valid question. He says that Krishna, sun god Vivaswan, is senior to you by birth. He is very senior. You and I are kind of at the same time frame, but sun god Vivaswan is very, very senior, very old, millions of years old. So how can I understand that you told this knowledge or the science of yoga to sun god Vivaswan? And that time Krishna tells him that bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacharjuna, that you and I have appeared on this or everywhere many times, and then I remember everything, but you do not. That's what Krishna tells Arjuna, that so Krishna never forgets anything, past, present, and future. He knows everything. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani cha Arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kashana. Krishna says in the 7th chapter that I know everything, the past, present, and future, and not of you and me or one person, all the bhutani, all the living entities. For everyone I know their past, present, and future, but of me nobody knows. So that's why he's called as Achyutam. He never falls down in the material world. We, the living entities, being part and parcel, the fragmental part and parcel of Krishna, we have a tendency, we may fall down in the material pole and we may come under the control of this illusory energy of Krishna, but Krishna never comes under the control of this energy, because he is the one who is actually controlling the material energy. The material energy is working under his direction. So he never falls down. And that's why Brahmaji refers to him as Achyutam. And at the same time, he refers to him as Anādim. Adi means one who has, Anādim means one who is beginningless, one who is primeval Lord. He is without any beginning. He is the original. He is free from all three phases of time, that is the past, present, and future, or it is also referred as beginning, middle, and end. So he does not have beginning or end or middle. He is ever there. He is always existing. Even before creation, he was there. During the creation, he is maintaining it, and even after the annihilation of this material creation, what remains is him. Actually, this is what he also mentions to Brahmaji in the Chatushloki Bhagavatam. I was reading just now that verse, that he tells Brahmaji when Brahmaji meets him after the tapa he performs, then Krishna told Brahmaji that aham eva samevagre nanyad yat sadasat param pasyadaham yadetascha yo visheshet soasmi aham. That aham eva sam evagre, that I am the one who was there in the beginning, even before the whole creation. So he says that, O Brahma, it is I, the personality of Godhead, who was existing before the creation, when there was nothing but myself. And nor was there the material nature, the cause of this creation. So nothing was there, not this material existence was there, but I was existing. And that which you see now is also I. And that is the personality of Godhead. And after the annihilation, what remains will also be I, the personality of Godhead. So he does not have a beginning, middle, or end, but he is always there even before creation and after the annihilation of this material creation. So everything that has a beginning in this material world has an end. But because Lord is eternally existing, he has no beginning and end. He is always existing even before the creation or even after the annihilation. And just by knowing that he is eternal with full conviction, as Krishna says in the 10th chapter, 3rd verse, that one who knows that I am ajam, yo mam ajam anādim cha vetti loka maheshwaram asammuda samarteshu sarva papai pramuchyate. That one who knows me, that as ajam, one who is unborn, and anādim, the same word that Brahmaji uses here, that one who is beginningless, then and who also know as me as loka maheshwaram, that I am the supreme controller of all the planetary systems and all the universes for that matter. Then asammuda samarteshu sarva paipai pramuchyate. That person who is fully intelligent, asammuda, he is freed from all the sinful reactions. Sarva papai pramuchyate. So just by knowing that Krishna is anadi, one can get freed from all the sinful reactions. So that's what Brahmaji is referring to him as anādim. And then he calls him as ananta-rūpam. Now it may seem contradictory here that in the beginning he says advaitam, one who is one without a second, he is always one. But here he is referring as ananta-rūpam. So ananta-rūpam, as it is translated here, whose form is endless. So whose form is ananta. Or it can also be translated as one who possesses unlimited number of forms. So either his form is unlimited, that is also true, because it is beyond our conception. We cannot even estimate how big he is. Because if we consider from the beginning of the Brahma Samhita, we learned that all these universes are coming from the bodily pores of Mahavishnu. And in this universe, in the small planet Earth, on the earthly planetary system, we are living in here. So for us, he's unlimited. We cannot imagine how big Mahavishnu is. So from that perspective also, he is ananta-rūpam. And other perspective is one who possesses unlimited number of forms. So there are unlimited incarnations continuously happening for Krishna. Ever. Just like, and it is compared in the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, third chapter, I think 26th verse or so. Just like in the reservoir of water, or say a river, when we sit across the river and we see there are so many waves at the same time coming in the river, and some are diminishing and more are coming, and simultaneously there are innumerable waves are coming and going. So just that we cannot count those waves, we cannot count how many incarnations Krishna has. So that's why he is called ananta-rūpam. There are unlimited incarnations coming continuously of Krishna in all the universes, everywhere. And broadly, as I remember, they are categorized in 6 different categories, and they are Leela avatars that are very popular, the Dasha avatars that we know of, Matsya, Kurma, Narsimha, and so on. Then there are also Yuga avatars that in each Yuga, Krishna incarnates as a Yuga avatara. And in Bhagavatam, they are referred as Shweta Varna, Rakta Varna, and different colors in he appears. Then Guna avatars, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So those are also incarnations of Krishna as a controlling deities of 3 modes of material nature. Then Purusha avatars, the Mahavishnu, then Garbhodakashai Vishnu and Kshirodakashai Vishnu, who are maintaining and creating this material creation eternally. So those are Purusha avatars. And then Shaktavesha avatars, where there are empowered personalities like Maharaj Prithu or Rishabdev or Parshuram. All these are Shaktavesha avatars. So there are different categories of avatars eternally happening. And they are unlimited. So that's why he is referred as ananta-rūpam. And then ādyam, he is the original person. He is the very first person, which is mentioned as he is the original cause of everything. For him, there is no cause, but he is the cause of everything. That's why ādyam, as Brahmaji in the very first verse in Brahma Samhita, we learn, he refers to him as sarva karana karanam, that there is no cause for him, but he is the cause of all that is happening. So that's why he is referring here as the foremost or the original cause or the original person, Adyam. And then purāṇa-puruṣaṁ. So Purana means the oldest. So oldest because he was existing even before the creation. There was nothing existing. Even at that time, he is existing. So that's why he is Purana and Purusham, because he is the supreme enjoyer. He is a person and he is the supreme enjoyer. Or actually, in that sense, he is the only enjoyer and everything is created for his enjoyment. So all the Prakriti, be it the para prakriti or apara prakriti, the material nature or spiritual nature, all his different potencies are categorized in these 2 main categories, that para prakriti and apara prakriti, are meant for his enjoyment. But we call ourselves, when we appear, the Jivatma, when he comes as a competitor to Krishna, or because of envy of Krishna, he thinks that himself as enjoyer or Purusha, then he is given an opportunity to try to enjoy in this material creation. And that's why sometimes the, the male persons here, the living entities in the male form are called as Purusha, but because they are trying to enjoy or exploit this material energy, and trying to enjoy through their senses. But the original Purusha is Krishna. He is the supreme enjoyer. And everyone else or everything else is Prakriti. And Prakriti is enjoyed and Purusha is the enjoyer. And he is the Purana, the oldest person, oldest Purusha. And that's why Brahmaji is referring to him as Purāṇa-puruṣaṁ. So one may think that, oh, he is the oldest. So from our conception of understanding what we see in this material world, a Purāṇa-puruṣaṁ or old person must be with a white beard, all the skin wrinkled and really shaky and cannot walk and very old, all white hair or no hair probably. So, but it's not like that. He's referring to him next as nava-yauvanaṁ cha. Nava-yauvanaṁ. Nava means very new or very fresh. And yauvanam means his youth. So he's ever fresh youth. So even in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, when the battle happened, Krishna was more than 100 years old. but he was just like a young boy between the ages of 16 and 20. Nava-yauvanaṁ. And also, whenever we see picture of Krishna, we never see any picture where he's a very old person, like a holding stick in his hand, or white beard, or very wrinkled skin, or anything. No, he is ever youth. Even though he is purāṇa-puruṣaṁ, or the oldest person, he is always youth. Actually, in the previous verse, we read that his beauty can be compared to millions of thousands of Kandarpa or Cupid. Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham, Brahmaji said in the previous verse. So he's so beautifully, or that is one of his special qualities that no one else has. There are 64 qualities that Krishna has, as mentioned by Srila Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And out of those 64, there are four qualities, and this is the beauty. He is the most beautiful person, is one that only Krishna has, not even Narayan in Vaikuntha has that quality. So he is the most beautiful person, and that's why he is referred here as nava-yauvanaṁ. He is ever fresh. His body is always ever fresh youth. And that's why he's referring him as a nava-yauvanaṁ. And then he further says, Brahmaji further says, vedeṣu durlabham, that you are difficult, very, very, very difficult to understand, difficult to obtain, even by the study of the Vedic literature. And not only about Vedic literature, actually, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, 11th chapter, towards the end, Vedeshu yadneshu tapasu chaiva. No, it's not that one. Naham vedair na tapasa, na danena chaijjaya. That I cannot be seen or I cannot be understood by Naham vedair, by study of the Vedas. Even if somebody studies the Vedic literature thoroughly, na tapasa, by austerity, by severe penance or austerity, even if somebody, na danena, or even if somebody is very charitable person, even the most charitable person in whole creation probably, even that person cannot understand him. For him also it is called his durlabham, he cannot be understood, or cha ijjaya, or even by worship or all the sacrifices. So by all these means, Krishna cannot be understood. Actually, he says that even manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam vetti tatvatah. That even though somebody studies or tries to attain siddhi or perfection, hardly anyone tries to attain a siddhi or perfection, but out of those who have attained siddhi, even out of those, very rarely one person can understand me. So vedeṣu durlabham, it is very, very difficult to understand Krishna just by study of the Vedas or by any other process. Then how can one understand Krishna? So Brahmaji further says that adurlabham ātma-bhaktau. Your adurlabham means very easily obtainable or very easily understandable, or you are not difficult to obtain, to ātma-bhaktau, to all the living entities who are engaged in your loving devotional service. And that's what even when Krishna says that naham veda tapasa, he that says, afterwards he says that bhaktya tu anannaya shakkam evam vidho Arjuna, that only by bhakti one can understand me as I am. Or even towards the end of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavanyashchasmi tatvata tato ma tatvato jnatva vishate tadanantaram. So only by devotional service one can understand me as I am. So that's what Brahmaji is also referring here, that adurlabham. So durlabham means very difficult to obtain or inaccessible, and adurlabham means not so difficult. Means not, that is used in the beginning of as a prefix to durlabham. That means negation of durlabham. So I am not very difficult to obtain through pure devotional service to a by a living entity. Actually, there are similar word Krishna uses in Bhagavad Gita. Sudurlabha, ananya-cheta satatam, yomam smarati nityasha, tasyaham sulabha. Sulabha is the word here. Tasyaham sulabha partha nitya yuktasya yogina. And in that verse, I just realized that there are some keywords. Ananya-cheta, that one who is continuously thinking nothing else but me. Ananya-cheta. And how? Satatam. Always. Yomam smarati nityasha. Again, always. Tasyaham sulabha partha nitya yuktasya yogina. So always satatam nitya nitya. So these are keywords for us to remember what Krishna is saying, how we can attain Krishna, how we can understand Krishna. He is giving us all these keywords. So one who is always ever thinking of Krishna all the time, how I can satisfy Krishna, how I can engage in his devotional service, how I can worship him. For him, Krishna says, Tasya aham sulabha partha. So sulabha, he can easily obtain me. And the same thing Brahmaji is saying here, adurlabham ātma-bhaktau. So for one who is engaged in devotional service, pure loving devotional service of the Lord, for him Krishna is very, very easy to obtain. To that Govinda, Brahmaji is saying, ādi-puruṣaṁ, again, purāṇa-puruṣaṁ, ādi-puruṣaṁ, the original personality, tam ahaṁ bhajāmi. I worship to that Govinda. So this is Brahmaji praying in his meditation. So read the quickly translation. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas, but obtainable by pure unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning and the eternal Purusha, yet he is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth. Nava-yauvanaṁ. So I think it's 9:28. I'll stop here and then we can take some reflections. So thank you very much, devotees, for the opportunity to glorify Krishna through Brahma Samhita. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Ramon.
Hare Krishna, Shankaran Prabhuji.
Really.
Thank you, Radharajan Prabhu. I really like the way you explain the whole verse. Each and every word with a different quotes from different Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures.
Thank you, Anand Prabhu. Yeah.
Thank you.
Each word is so deep, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I was reading through this and then they are all used so many times in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam.
And you described about the universe, whole universe also, Prabhuji, how the Garbhodaka Vishnu and Kshirodaka Vishnu and everything, Karanaka Vishnu, how it formed everything. This shlokas represent all the three universes, right, Prabhuji?
These are the three Purusha avatars, Mataji. So from Mahavishnu comes all the universes, and then in each universe he enters as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And then as third Purusha avatar, as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, he enters in every living entity's heart as well as every atom.
So after the universe, partial universe is done, all the Garbhodaka Vishnu and Kshirodaka Vishnu is transformed into the Mahavishnu and go to the Mahavishnu, right, Prabhuji? After
Yes,
the
Mataji. All the universes enter into Mahavishnu at the time of annihilation when all the universes are annihilated. So everything goes into Mahavishnu.
So again, Vishnu will create new creation again, and again, Garbhodaya Vishnu and Kshirodaya Vishnu forms, and again Brahma, Lord Brahma, again it will come.
Yes.
New Manvantara, it will come straight, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, there are many manvantaras, actually 14 in one day of Brahma, but yes, the whole cycle begins again.
Thanks, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी, नाइस क्लास, बहुत अच्छा आपने एक्सप्लेनेशन किया. आई लर्न लाइक 3 वर्ड, सततम एंड नित्यम नित्यम. प्रभु जी,
Yes, that's very beautiful verse, Mataji. And sometimes let me open that verse actually.
yeah,
Eighth chapter.
some Gita, there's a satatam yukta naam, I don't remember exactly slow. So thank you, Prabhuji.
14 or
very nice.
15th verse.
Yeah.
The one? Yeah. Ananya satatam yomam sadati nityasha tasya aham sulabha partha nityayuktasya yogina. So he's saying the same thing that Brahmaji said, that adurlabham ātma-bhaktau. But here the keywords, it always comes 3 times here: nitya, satatam, and again nitya.
Yeah, niyuktas.
Nitya yukta.
Yeah.
So it is not like, oh, I did my puja in the morning for half an hour, so I am done for the day. No.
Whole day I'm trying to remember.
24/7.
Whole
That's
day.
for
Yes,
all of us, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. In night also I'm Mahamantra also continue going on. Yeah.
Very nice, Mataji.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very nicely explained. And I was thinking that so many instructions are given by Krishna to remember him. But we can see how conditioned we are, that we're still not able to do it. I mean, we understand everything, we listen, and then again we go back to that normal conditioning. At least I do not.
No, yes, Mataji. And that's why we have this association, and we should take benefit of this.
Yes,
Sadhu
definitely.
Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kai. Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy, as Chaitanya Charitamrita says. So we are trying to associate with sadhus. I am taking benefit of association of this, all you sadhus. And by association, we make progress. We all together make progress.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you.
And not only, I want to add up one more thing, Prabhuji. Not only that, reading this kind of Brahma Samhita or reading this kind of things, we will think and we'll go back to at least thinking of Krishna's pastimes and everything. And at least some moment we can relish it.
Correct.
Of course. Whole day, whatever you say, whole day we should remember Krishna, but sometimes we are in the Maya, sometimes we're in Maya and sometimes we're in illusion. Everything goes on. Again, once what you said, if you have nice Sangha or reading this kind of these things, we may remember any time like that way. It will be very nice to read.
Yes, Mother. Yeah, this is every day by reading, that is reminder for ourselves that yes, I have to do this. Krishna is giving us so many instructions, and he's making it so easy for us. But yeah, what can we do?
Yeah, we are because we are in material illusion, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Because we should do our other duties also. So that is it comes in the breaking time.
As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in the 2nd verse of Shikshashtakam, Namnamakari Bahudani Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kala Etadrishi Tava Krupa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrasham Ihajani Nanuraga. But Krishna, you have stored all your potency, your Shakti in your name. So just by chanting your name, we can get free from this material entanglement. But what can I do? I have no taste for your name. That's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Mataji, what can we say?
Yeah, that's absolutely true, Prabhuji. Yeah.
So,
Thank you, Prabhuji.
thank you. Thank you so much. I think if there are no more reflections, we can stop. So thank you very much again, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Vancha
Vanchakalpatarubhyasya कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंतकोटि वैष्णव
कोटि वैष्णव वंद की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji Santa.
Hare Krishna.